Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Soul. Thank you for joining me, and I really hope your day's going great so far. One of the first things every single Better You project will ever tell you is how the little everyday things are the most important things in your life. And I completely agree. However, because the aim is to make life easier for you and for your soul, today we will make those short and sweet for you. And these are the little things that we can fit into our very busy schedules from the morning all the way into the night. Some of you may already have these embedded into your routine, or at least some of them, but we'll split them in threes for each time of the day to make it easier. First, let's have a look at the morning. Number 1, drink water. Pretty easy, right? But the tough part is don't drink caffeine first thing in the morning. I'm not saying don't drink caffeine, but it has been proven that if you drink water first thing in the morning, it is so much better for your body. It wakes you up a lot more than caffeine, and it minimizes those jitters that you sometimes get. Now, I'm not saying cut out the caffeine. I personally can't live without my Earl Grey and honey in the morning, but if you do start with 1 to 2 glasses of water first thing in the morning, then that's going to flush out everything in your body, and you're going to feel so much better afterwards. Then you can go ahead and drink the caffeine, but it's really important for you to try and postpone it as much as you can from that I just woke up moment. Number 2, write. You don't have to take more than literally 60 seconds to do this. Once again, it has been proven that if you write down things that you're grateful for, write down good things in your life, whatever it is. Sometimes you could even be having a really bad week, but then one of the good things that you can write about is that coffee that you get to make, or that tea that you're drinking, even that glass of water that you sipped on, or the fact that it's sunny, and if it's raining, the rain. Start by writing a little bit about things that you are grateful for. It can be 1, 2, 3, 10 things, it doesn't matter. And then note down your priorities. Again, you don't need more than 60 seconds to do this. Just write things down, but writing really helps. And on top of this, for those of you who have a lot going on, it helps to write down your priorities and your goals for the day. Bonus, you can also strike through those when you're done with them. I know that releases a lot of negative tension. And number 3, stretch and or exercise, even if it is just for 5 minutes. Really, this morning routine is a 10-minute or less routine. You know how sometimes people say, well, I wake up, I have 30 minutes to get dressed, and then I have to head over to wherever it is you need to go. Well, even if you wake up 5 minutes earlier, just to put in a quick stretch, or even doing a 1-minute plank, doing, 30 to 50 jumping jacks, 5 minutes is still better than no minutes. Second, we're going to go into our afternoon or our evening. 1, again, or 4, you should consider going for a walk. And if you don't have the capacity to go for a walk, try and get some fresh air. If, like me, you live in London, that means you can even open a window and just take a whiff of I guess we can call it fresh air. I personally set myself a 10,000 steps a day rule as part of my New Year's resolution. Now, it doesn't have to be that, but find something that gets you moving or puts you out in nature. If your schedule is too busy, find one appointment or one call that you can do that is 10, 15, 30 minutes, but you could take it while you're on the go. I usually reserve these for internal calls, for instance. I call my manager and I let him know I need to shake out my legs. I'm going to go out, walk around the block, and take the call that we've got. If that's not an option for you, in case there's not much flexibility in your schedule, one thing that you can also consider is on your way back from the office, from school, from your appointments, or on the way to those appointments, try to walk a tiny bit more or spend more time outdoors. For example, if you take the tube to get you where you need to go or the bus, try not to take the station that is closest to you. Walk to the next one. Number 2, try to squeeze in a cup of green tea. First, for those of you who are caffeine addicts, which we are going to work on that as well, but green tea does have a little bit of caffeine, but it's still better than the amounts that you find in black tea or in coffee. Second, it's full of antioxidants. It is considered to be anti-cancerous. There are so many benefits to literally a cup of green tea. It is also proven in societies that have much better health, mental and physical, that they do consume green tea. And number 3, read. Reading is probably the biggest life-saving thing that I can offer you after good thoughts and writing. We're definitely going to talk about this more soon. But what I mean when I say reading is, it's not necessarily the news. That could be something that you ingest when you're on the bus, going to your first appointment, work, office, meeting, school. It could be that you read during your lunch break. But what I'm talking about here is something beyond the news. Ideally, we're looking for things that are a little bit more on the educational front. Thinking positively, but not in a toxic way, how to continue growing, how to learn, maybe, again, catching up on a language that you're learning on. Really, reading is one of the keys to everything good in life. And finally, looking at the nighttime, we're going to end the day as we started with a cup of water before bed. Take it one step further and keep a glass of water next to your bed so that in the morning when you wake up, you can then drink that. And that then becomes a little bit of a habit. Second thing is, keep pen and paper to write down any thoughts. These can be on your nightstand or on the floor next to you, but that way, if before you go to bed, you find yourself thinking about so much that is going on, write down what you're thinking. Sometimes we remember things right before bed, so we're like, I need to keep holding on to that thought so that I don't forget. And we keep telling ourselves, I won't forget because I'm thinking about it. But the problem is it's really straining your mind and you won't be able to fall asleep as easily. So what you instead want to do is write it down. That way you can forget it. And if you forget it, the paper won't forget it. The pen has written it down, it is locked in, and you can take care of it in the morning. The last thing is actually something I learned from The 4-Hour Body, a book which I definitely recommend. It's quite a thick one, so you definitely want to pick and choose which chapters are relevant for you if the book is of interest. But before going to bed, it is important not to eat right before bed. Try to keep some space. And if you need help with waking up in the morning, besides the fact that you may be snoozing your alarm, which again, definitely don't recommend doing that, but I personally struggle with this. So what I started doing is following the advice that I learned in the book, which is to dip celery in almond butter before bed and ingesting that to wake up a little bit more energized. Add the water of the morning, and it really helps. Takes a couple of weeks to adjust, but yeah, try it out and let me know how it goes. I hope the rest of your day is full of magic, and keep in mind, step by step, day by day. Thank you, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Soul.